Hey, welcome to another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Today, man, we got a TEDx speaker. We got a public good speaker as a male. And this is my first male on my show, Mr. Jeff Noel. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, King. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yes, sir.
Now, we going to get right into it because he's a LeBron's fan.
Yeah, you already know.
So, you know what I'm saying? Why are you a LeBron's fan?
So I'm not going to lie. Growing up, Dwayne Wade was my absolute favorite player. Then it was Kobe, Jelly Bean Bryant. Then it was everybody else. And I didn't really like LeBron until he came on the Heat. When he came on the Heat, that's when I started, because I'm a Miami Heat fan above all else. So I was watching every single game, and I saw that LeBron was he was already great, but he was improving every single game, every single year. And so I saw a man that was dedicated to greatness, a man that was getting better every year, a man that was versatile. And I was like, yo, this LeBron guy, like, I'm a witness now. And so I was like, all right, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT in my eyes.
Okay.
And not only is he the GOAT in my eyes, he's the GOAT, period. And he should be the GOAT in everybody's eyes, especially rich eyes. All right?
Yeah, man. So let me ask you this. Being a TEDx speaker, man, was you nervous? How did that go?
Man, we getting into it. So being a TEDx speaker, it was really tough leading up to that moment, because I was experiencing a lot of heartache leading up to that TEDx speech. And every TEDx speaker, at least in the one that I went to, we have a coach. And even my coach, he thought I wasn't going to give the speech because of everything that was going on in my personal life. My dad, he got sick. And that was just, my dad is one of my best friends, And so when you give a TEDx, you don't just pull up on stage and start talking. Like, you find out like 6 months in advance, you get a coach, you go over a speech, or you write a speech, you send it to them, they read through it, they fact check you, make sure everything you say is on point, and then they send it back to you and they say, all right, now turn it into speech form. And then so you write it as a speech, not only as an idea or whatever the case is. And then you send it back to them. They read through it. They give suggestions. They send it back. And then they ask you to memorize it. So I wasn't nervous because I already knew what I would say. However, I was uncomfortable because I'm a public speaker and I've been on the stage for 10 years. And the way that I speak, I'm what they call an extemporaneous speaker. So an extemporaneous speaker is basically someone who speaks off the cuff. So if you think of, there's three types of speeches. There's manuscript, there's extemporaneous, and then there's a spontaneous speaker. Manuscript is someone who just reads the entire speech. A spontaneous speaker is like, you didn't know you have a speech that day, and they're like, all right, you giving a speech, and then boom, you have to give a speech. So extemporaneous is somewhere in between where there's some level of preparation, but you're not reading from your notes. And so that's where I'm the most comfortable, when I know what I'm going to say, but I'm not reading from my notes. It's not memorized. I don't know every word I'm going to say. I just have a spirit of what I'm going to say. I know the general idea of the message I want to convey. And with this TEDx speech, I had to memorize it. And I hate memorizing speeches because it feels unnatural. Like, I'd rather just have a conversation. I'd rather just talk. Like, RJ, you didn't give me any questions in advance. JR, my fault, JR. Why you looking at
Definitely got to fix that.
Yeah, you got to fix that. You got to fix that for the record. Right, JR, You didn't give me any questions in advance. And so I didn't have anything to, like, really prepare. But I know we're talking about my life, so I'm already prepared to talk about my life, right? And so this is where I'm the most comfortable. And so with the TEDx speech, I didn't like that I had to memorize it, and so I was uncomfortable, but I wasn't nervous.
And then, so when you did that, you saw your speaking career take off further, or you was already at that high accolade? This was just another thing in the books.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my speaking career took off further, but a lot of people, they admire it. They see it as a gigantic accolade, and I do see it as that as well. But I didn't notice like a gigantic spike in my speaking career necessarily, but people definitely love it. And I'll add this, like, people who I never met before, people who I didn't speak to in public ever, they come up to me and they tell me that they watch it every single morning. Like, one time I gave this speech at a high school, and this girl came up to me and she was like, she literally watches it every single morning before she goes to school. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. And I don't have like 100,000, a million views. So I didn't even think it was that successful. I just, I was like, it's a TEDx speech. And then I found out recently that there's professors at Miami-Dade College that actually assign their students to watch my TED Talk, and they have to do an assignment. They have to do an essay or something based on what I said in the TED Talk. So my mind was blown by that. So when you see a TED Talk like mine, although it doesn't have 1 million views, there are classes that are assigning their students to watch it, and that's mind-blowing to me.
And so your methodology right now, what I'm listening to, is like when you speak audaciously, but you speak into that little boy, that little girl, or that grown man or that grown woman to say, hey, listen, I'm finna tell you, you are important. You mean something. And it's not just because of the accolades of the things that you, or the successes that you have. It's what's in you.
Yeah.
And it's not what like you do with it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to bring it out and experience that greater light of you without feeling like, hey, I'm not Mr. Noel. I'm not on the TEDx talk. I'm not winning awards. I'm not doing this. But like you have your own light to shine and speak it. And that's what I'm seeing. Is like I see like, man, TEDx. I would want to do one, but I feel like it would be a little nerve wracking because I didn't know you have to remember your speech. I felt like the way they explain it. We had a TEDx talker. He was like, you got to do this, and then you got to convey, deliver, and turn around and execute.
Can I tell you a secret?
Go ahead.
That I don't even know if I could say this. I'm not even sure if I could say this. But
go ahead. Tell us a secret. We ready. We ready on you.
TEDx Talks are, yes, there's a conference where you give a speech, but a lot of the speeches, they don't just go on stage and they give it once. Like if you make a mistake, you could start all over, and they go to cut it up and they go put out the best possible clip. And so so there's people, I went to this TED Talk where this person was folding. They couldn't say 2 sentences without messing up. And we stayed there for like 20, 30 minutes just watching her mess up. And to the point where the producer came on stage and he said that we're going to just record this after the audience leave.
Damn.
So I'm not saying it's fizz. I'm not,
damn.
You feel me? And so I've never heard anyone say that online before, but that's how it is because they want to protect their brand, of course. They're not going to publish a speech that's bad. And at the same time, they want to make you look good because you're an expert on the topic. And just because you are an expert on the topic, that doesn't mean you're good at teaching it. That doesn't mean you are good at saying it in front of people. And for a lot of folks, it takes a lot of chiseling and a lot of edits for them to deliver the speech the right way the first time.
Damn. I'm still stuck at the producer told her, hey, yo, you're going to be by yourself on this one. But that's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, though. I think you have the barbershop speaks.
Yeah.
So it's like y'all sit in the barbershop and y'all just chop it up and talk shit, or y'all talking about girls, or what we doing in the barbershop?
Family, listen. So I started Barbershop Speaks in 2016 based off the idea that people don't go to barbershops only for haircuts, but they go for conversations, they go for community, they go for a sense of belonging, they go just to escape, they go to be around other individuals who are like-minded or even people who disagree with them and they want to, just debate. So the barbershop is not only a place where you get your haircut, but it's that place where I call the community's classroom, where everyone is both the teacher and the student. And one day I was in the barbershop and I was getting a haircut and I was already thinking about what is something that I can start because I have an entrepreneurial spirit and I'm always trying to start something, right? And I was like, I want to start something. I want it to be community based, but I also want to have like real conversations that matter. And there was a debate in the barbershop when I was getting a cut on who's better, LeBron James or Stephen Curry. And by the time...
Back to LeBron James.
I told you, almost every question will include LeBron in it. And I just thought the argument was just so silly and so stupid because obviously LeBron is better than Stephen Curry. Like, I don't think there's any debate on that. But here they were having a silly argument. And there was so much passion. There was so much passion and vigor in that room about that conversation. And as much as I enjoy speaking about who the real GOAT is, at the same time, that conversation in reality does not matter to us in everyday life. Like, it's a fun conversation to have. Sports matter. We need entertainment in our lives, or else our lives will just be completely boring. But at the end of the day, if we're not talking about things that are actually real, that matters to us on a day-to-day basis, then we will live miserable lives. And I remember having the thought of what would happen in the barbershop if we have conversations that actually matter to our community. And literally in that moment, the thought Barbershop Speaks came to my mind. And I was like, ooh. And I turned to the barber who was cutting my hair, and I was like, I just thought of an idea called Barbershop Speaks. Well, what do you think if on some day when the barbershop is closed, I invite people into the shop and we have real conversations? What do you think about that? And he was like, oh, talk to the owner about it. Sounds like a good idea. I went over, I spoke to the owner. Owner was like, yeah. And I set it up. And boom, that's how we started. And since then, 2016, we've had conversations on financial literacy, convos on the state of our education, conversations on mental health awareness, on fatherhood, manhood, brotherhood, just so many conversations, criminal justice system, everything that actually matters to us that we should know about.
Yeah. How to treat a woman?
We haven't had that conversation yet, but we need to. We actually need to, because I think that's incredibly important, because there's a lot of toxicity online about how men should speak to women, how men should treat a woman. And I do see Barbershop Speaks as a venue to combat that toxicity. I do see it as a way to convey real and true information that actually uplifts society and not bring it down. And it is understandable why there is a lot of toxic conversations online, is because negativity sells. Like, we all heard the phrase sex sells, that's true, but also negativity sells. And people are more inclined to share something that has a negative twinge to it than share something that has a positive angle to it, right? And that's not good, because we don't need any more negativity in our lives. We don't need that, right? Facts. And that's just me. That's where I stand. And so Barbershop Speaks is a venue where we could insert positivity, insert education, insert love, insert things that are true in order to uplift our people.
I think that's very, very, very important. But it also starts in home. Like you say, you know how we raised by our moms, our dads, and stuff like that. I think, too, like, for those who do have kids, are those ones who, like you, like, for me, I have to shape and mold and my kids to a certain direction. But I also know, too, like, having stuff like that where they can go and hear, yo, I was at the barbershop getting a haircut, and yo, Jeff Noel came in, man, he's a big time all time, you know. And it, like, because I feel like what you're building is a conglomerate of called a community, right? And then the anguish side of it is where you're speaking positive and not negative. Correct. And I think that's going to be definitely impactful, man. Are you going to take it on a tour?
Yeah, we've gone on tour before.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2022, we went on tour. We obviously did Miami, but we also did Orlando, Ocala, Atlanta, New York, and Philadelphia. And we definitely want to go on tour again. It's been too long. And I think the conversations is just transform the community, because whenever I go into a new community, I don't just pull up and be like, my name is Jeff Noel, I'm from Miami, and this is what we're talking about. Like, I would go to the community months in advance, and I'll literally go to events, and I would meet community leaders. I'll have conversations with people that's been in the community for a long time. I find out what their needs are. I find out who's really on the ground, who's really making an impact. I break bread with them, and then I say, hey, I want to do this in your city. Let's do this together. And then we plan the event essentially together, and then we bring the community out. So it's not even me. I empower whoever the leaders truly are to do what they do, but then I'll bring the brand Barbershop Speaks. I'll bring our years of history behind us to make it happen.
I think, damn, that's impactful, man. It's like, what is your ultimate goal for 2025?
My ultimate goal in 2025? Whoo, that's a really good question. I mean, I would like to get married.
Okay, yo, he's single, y'all. Hey, he's single.
I would like to, but I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if that timeline is feasible, given that I am single. However, I mean, that would be phenomenal, though. I'm a man who believes in marriage. I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God, and so that's definitely something I would love. But also, I want to see Barbershop Speaks advance to a different level. And 2024 was a great year for us because in addition to the conversations that we have inside the barbershops, we now have a television show that airs on the CW. And my producers tell me we reach around 300,000 people per episode. And that's
Good
incredible.
shit.
Yeah.
Good
and I'm
shit.
very grateful for that. And so I want to continue to impact the community through TV and finding new avenues and different networks to go on. That would be a great goal of mine as well. And ultimately, my passion is public speaking. I think at heart, I am a public speaker, not only to motivate, not only to inspire, because if you motivate someone alone, then you can motivate them and you can motivate them to go 100 miles per hour, but then without that education, they'll go 100 miles per hour in the wrong direction. So my goal is not only to motivate, but also to educate as well. And when I do that on stage, I see the impact it make with audiences that I speak to. And my goal is to just continue expanding my public speaking journey, speaking around the country, internationally, hopefully. That's my goal, man.
I can see that. I can see that happening. And back to your LeBron phase.
It's not a phase.
It's not a phase?
Nah, it's not a phase. It's not a phase. It's not a phase. When you say greatest of all time and it's on your hat, when you say greatest of all time, you're not just talking about a season. You're not talking about a period in time. I'm talking about in the history of basketball since Joe Naismith invented basketball in Canada. From that moment to now, LeBron has been the greatest basketball player to ever touch a basketball.
Man, I just like seeing him get hyped. Like every time you mention LeBron, he just gets super hyped. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna talk about LeBron like that. Hey, fuck what y'all talking about. I like that. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Man, so
and I'm not glazing. I'm just spitting facts for the record. For the record.
I just knew this was gonna go like this with LeBron. But let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
To the little boy out there. Whether it's internationally or within the U.S., what is something that you would tell him?
Yeah.
To help him on his journey, I should say.
You have to learn how to communicate because if you really think about it, when we were in elementary school, the most popular kid probably was maybe he looked the best or he was the fastest or the strongest or it has something to do with physical attributes. That's what made you the leader. That's what made you the best. That's what put you at the top. But as an adult in the real world, it's not about how fast you are. It's not about how strong you are. It's not about how good you look, but it's about how well you communicate. Like the most powerful people in this country, in this world, they are the best communicators. Whether or not they have great ideas. I didn't even get to the part about having a great idea. It's about communicating your ideas. Right. And people wonder, why do we have politicians who don't really care about their constituents? Why do we have a bunch of politicians who are ineffective and they can never do what they campaign on? Why do we have CEOs or leaders of companies who seem to not understand their customer base or seem to not treat their employees right? And part of the reason why is because the person who is the best rarely get the top spot is the person who can communicate the ideas the best. That's who get the top spot. And if you learn how to communicate well, if you learn how to communicate your ideas, if you learn how to communicate your displeasure, like learning how to say no to things, and you also learn when to say yes, you can go very far in this life.
Listen, guys, that's spoken from Mr. Jeff Noel, like LeBron fan.
Yes,
back
sir.
to that. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You say you hope to get married in 2025.
Oh Lord, we're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna keep talking about. Go ahead, go.
So, are you currently dating a few people, one particular person, or you just scouting?
Well, by the time this podcast come out, I don't know where I'll be, but but in this present moment, I'm not dating a few people right now. Nor am I dating one. So right now I have my eyes open and I'm seeing what's out there. But you got to be prudent because I believe the two most important decisions someone can make in their life is whether or not you commit your life to God, right? And number two is who you marry, right? Those are the two most important decisions. The first decision is an eternal decision. The second decision is a lifelong decision. Because who you marry it could completely destroy your life, or who you marry could build your life, right? And I don't take that decision lightly, and I want to make sure that when I do make that decision, when I do find who I'm supposed to marry or who is best for me, I want to make sure it's the right decision.
Now, do you discriminate between race?
I do have my preferences.
So your preference?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in a Haitian household. So I do love Black women. I love Haitian women. And that's who I've mostly and only dated up until this point, right? And I do think there's beauty in all people, but that's just my preference.
That's preference. I'm mad at Sims right now. Sims said no. Said no. That's what's up. I mean,
what he said no to? I'm curious.
He only.
Got it. That's
it.
Got it. This is not the Fresh and Fit podcast, so we're not gonna go into it, but.
But I mean, I get it. You want to keep you stay within your race, within your nationality, and it's just something about it, right? Something about the culture, something about Black pride, Black spirit, just being Black. Like, Black is bold, Black is beautiful. When you look at those things and you see those things, it's something that when you walk in the room, your presence is like you're the elephant in the room. Or they don't expect you to have a vernacular vocabulary. They don't expect you to be an astute young man or an astute young woman.
Correct.
And when you talk, it's not, yo, what's up, this, that, and the third. You can have a professional conversation. So I kind of get it, right? Yeah. But I'm a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
I feel like now, I would say this, love my Black women, all of them, 100%. But I also know, too, that, like, if God puts you in a position for a different race, and it's something that you're supposed to learn. And once you learn that, it's not saying that it can, like, not grow, but it's all like, we was talking to Spike, it's watering her garden. Because you can learn something from I'm going to say Dominican woman, I'm going to say African woman, and I'm going to say a Haitian woman, and probably a few white women. You know what I'm saying? Not really.
Don't do that.
I ain't gonna do that too much. But anyways, but what I'm saying is the main point is that like all walks of life, you get a different avenue of learning something new, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't know how to cook Haitian food, but a Haitian woman would teach me. I don't know how to cook Jamaican food.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's beauty in all races.
But would you date outside your race though?
Well, here's the thing. People typically date what they are around.
Okay.
And I was raised around Black people. All the schools that I went to, it was predominantly Black people.
Okay, gotcha.
In North Miami and in North Miami Beach. And I went to middle school in Opa-locka, right? There's not a lot of white or Hispanic people in Opa-locka, right? And so, but if I was raised in South Miami, where the population of Hispanics, or if I was in Hialeah, it would be much higher.
Gotcha.
Then I think I would have a higher proclivity to that. So I'm not on some
like
Dr. Umar tip, but I do, but I do appreciate Black women. And I was raised by a Black woman who's a beautiful, strong, intelligent, hardworking Black woman. I have a sister who is all those things as well.
Right.
I have a lot of Black women friends who are incredible people. And I see the beauty in all that, and I do believe that should be acknowledged, and they should be acknowledged for what they contribute to society.
I think I agree. I agree totally with you. Now, with next year happening, how do you give back to the community?
2025, how do I give back to the community? I do want to expand this one initiative that's near and dear to my heart at Barbershop Speaks. We, in partnership with the Children's Trust and the Kiwanis Club of Northeast Dade, and Miami Book Fair, we place bookshelves inside barbershops in Miami-Dade County, inside 3 barbershops, and kids have the opportunity to go inside a shop. They can read a book while waiting for a haircut, and they can keep the book and go home with that book and build their own personal library. Each time they come to the barbershop, they could grab a book, go home, keep it. And I do believe in the deep importance of high literacy rates, because if a kid is not reading on their grade level by the 3rd grade, the system is already looking at them like, all right, we got a spot for you in the jail cell, right? And childhood literacy is deeply important to me. That's why I wrote 2 children's books, and the kids love my children's books, by the way.
Okay.
And it's an amazing book.
Bestseller.
Yeah, it is. And not only because I wrote it, but it's really good. So I encourage you to go on Amazon.com, type in Yes, I Believe, and you'll be able to find my children's book, my 3rd one. So I wrote 4 books. First 2 are for adults. The last 2 are for children. And if I could do more in that space, I believe I will make such a great impact in our community.
What do you think about doing like a book signing, like type of thing, where you just get a bunch of copies and host, like, you know how it comes back to school, and then turn around, like, do the free haircuts, but offer autographed signed book dedicated to that person? Because what I've seen is that, like, there's some books like what is it? Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
That one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Amazing book.
The One Thing, The Compound Effect. It's like certain books like I'm starting to inquire and read, and that's like, yo, damn, I wish we had this when we was a little bit younger, because, you know, I think it would be transformational and transformational long, you know, in the long end. But yeah, man, I can see you doing that, though, like throwing like a little book signing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we do things like that where we have book readings inside the barbershop, and I can send you some videos. And it's just so impactful for the kids. We did this one partnership. I can't name the organization, but they deal with children who are adopted children. Okay. And we would go with those children in the barbershop. We'll read to them, and then we'll give them free haircuts as well. And honestly, as much as I love empowering adults and having conversations with adults, some of my favorite moments in life is when I'm reading books with kids and I'm empowering them and letting them know their purpose, letting them know their worth, and letting them know their value.
Well, definitely, man. You're going to be a great father one day, man.
Hey, I received that.
Say you're a great leader. Everything that you talked about, man, is just on point. It just seems that you have a heart of giving, right? And not many people have a heart of giving, because I feel that, like, you know, you have to be open-minded, and that you don't just see the cup half full. You see the cup all the way full, and then runneth over with blessings and testimonials, and also just blessing that kid. Yeah. Because you're gonna have, and I'm gonna say this: you're gonna have a kid or a few kids that's gonna come up to you when they're like older. Yeah. And be like, "Yo, Mr. Jeff, I remember you was talking, or I remember you was on that podcast, and I bought that book for Christmas." And guess what, man? I'm a Fortune 500 company, man. I'd like to here's a big old check, you know, help you keep growing. Man, listen, I know you want to talk about it, so talk about the fit that you got on. Go ahead, let's go.
Yes, man. Stately. I'm deeply appreciative to Stately, because they essentially dressed me. If you don't know what Stately is a subscription box company for men, and they will style you. You put in your style preferences, you put in your height, you put in your shirt size, your pant size, your shoe size, all that, and they will send you a box. If you're anything like me, who do not like shopping, you will rarely see me at the mall, right? I do not like shopping. I like things to be automatic, and Stately is where I go. and I'm deeply appreciative for them. I put on this fit now for this podcast because I wanted to look fresh. I wanted to look nice. I know I'll be on with the GOAT, right? And so I wanted to come on and look good. And so I had to dig into my stately box so I could look good. And so I'm grateful for them for sending me this box so I can look good, be in style while I spit facts.
Shout out Stately, man. Listen, yo, this is the first male public speaker, man. He has been good, man. Like, he's going to be Grammy nominated. He's going to get everything. He's going to get all the accolades out of this. But, hey, where can they find you at, man?
Yeah, if you want to find me, you can go on Instagram, find me at Jeff Noel Speaks. I post a lot of motivational material. I don't like calling it content. Everyone's using the word content, but a lot of motivational material, a lot of inspirational, but most importantly, a lot of educational material. Also, you can find me on TikTok at Jeff Noel Speaks. I rarely post on there, but for a period of time, I posted like a video every single day, and you could go on. You'll see a lot of those videos as well. And I encourage you to go on Instagram at Barbershop Speaks as well. Follow our journey. If you want to be a live audience member for our television show, we definitely open that up for you to experience that, to see what it's like behind the scenes of a television show. You are more than welcome to join us, and I'm deeply appreciative for being on this podcast, man. It really means a lot.
Hey, man, listen, I appreciate you showing up, man. It's just keeping your word, being a man of your word, showing up. And, man, listen, this has been another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast, man. Y'all tune in, click like, subscribe when this drop. Hey, this is that must clip.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be easy.